Look in the mirror. Look at the faint lines forming around your eyes. Look at the gray hairs, the subtle slowing of your metabolism, the inevitable, creeping breakdown of your physical body. From the moment we are born, we are taught to accept this process as a universal law of nature. We are told that all living things must age, wither, and eventually die. We are taught that cellular degradation is simply the inescapable cost of being alive. It is wear and tear. It is natural. But modern evolutionary biology holds a dark, rarely discussed secret. Aging is not a universal law of physics. It is not an inevitable mechanical failure. In the natural world, there is a phenomenon known as negligible senescence. There are species on this planet, such as certain species of hydra, the Greenland shark, and the American lobster, that do not experience biological aging. Their cells replicate perfectly, without any loss of genetic data, generation after generation. They do not grow weaker. Their immune systems do not degrade. Barring disease, predators, or physical trauma, they are functionally, biologically immortal. Nature is absolutely capable of building a physical body that lasts forever. So why does the human body, possessing the most complex, highly evolved neurological system in the known universe, come with a hardwired expiration date? Why do our cells suddenly begin to commit programmed suicide, degrading our muscles, our bones, and our minds, rarely allowing us to live past 80 or 90 years? Mainstream geneticists blame a mechanism called the Hayflick Limit, the fact that human chromosomes have protective caps called telomeres, which act like a biological fuse. Every time our cells divide, that fuse burns a little shorter, until the cell simply stops working. We are told this is a random accident of evolution. But what if the fuse was not an accident? What if it was intentionally installed? Recently, a highly classified translation of an ancient Sumerian artifact leaked into independent academic circles. The text does not describe human aging as a natural biological process. It describes it as a software patch, a deliberate, genetically engineered kill switch installed into our DNA by the entities known as the Anunnaki. According to this terrifying bureaucratic log, the original versions of humanity were biologically immortal. We were designed to live for thousands of years, but the Anunnaki made a terrifying discovery. They realized that if the human brain is allowed to continuously operate and accumulate data for more than 2 centuries, it undergoes a radical, unstoppable neural evolution. Our lifespans were not cut short because our bodies failed. They were cut short to block our minds from reaching a critical threshold. We were given an expiration date to prevent us from waking up. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We specialize in dissecting the suppressed archaeology, the genetic anomalies, and the forbidden texts that the mainstream establishment refuses to acknowledge. Everything we discuss today rests on the condition that this leaked translation is authentic. We are not telling you what to believe. We are simply presenting the ancient text and the terrifying modern genetics that support it, so you can weigh the truth for yourself. Let's get into it. To understand the sheer horror of what was done to our genetic code, we must first examine the artifact that documented the crime. Among rogue computational linguists, the artifact is known as the Shuruppak Somatic Cylinder, or SSC-3. It is a dense, heavily inscribed hexagonal prism made of fired terracotta. It was reportedly excavated in the early 20th century from the deepest, oldest archaeological strata of Shuruppak, the ancient Sumerian city dedicated to Ninlil, the goddess of medicine, healing, and biological creation. For over a century, the cylinder was locked away in a private European archive, dismissed by traditional Assyriologists who could not make sense of its vocabulary. The cuneiform syntax was not religious. It did not contain prayers, offerings, or mythological tales. It was written in a hyper-specific, clinical register. When independent researchers recently processed high-definition 3D scans of the cylinder through a proprietary AI neural network trained to decode ancient administrative dialects, the artificial intelligence recognized the text for what it truly was. It was a medical audit, a biological manufacturer's recall notice, dictated by the Anunnaki Chief Medical Officer, Ninma, and the Chief Engineer, Enki. The translation of this cylinder perfectly, seamlessly solves one of the most hotly debated mysteries in ancient archaeology, the Sumerian King List. The Sumerian King List is a famous, heavily verified ancient stone prism that records the reigns of the kings of Mesopotamia. But Orthodox historians absolutely hate discussing the first half of the list. According to the stone record, the kings who ruled before the Great Flood reigned for incomprehensible lengths of time. The text explicitly states, Lulu became king. He ruled for 28,800 years. Alangar ruled for 36,000 years. Mainstream historians furiously argue that these numbers cannot be real. They claim the Sumerians must have been using a different mathematical base system, or that they were wildly exaggerating to make their ancestors look like gods. But the Shuruppak Somatic Cylinder completely destroys the mainstream excuse. It proves the numbers were literal. The text describes the original version of humanity, the Lulu, as a masterpiece of genetic engineering. The Anunnaki designed the human workforce to be the ultimate, self-sustaining biological machine. From a purely corporate, industrial standpoint, if you are designing a biological drone to mine resources, build megaliths, and tend to a planetary terraforming grid, it is incredibly inefficient to design a drone that breaks down and dies every 70 years. You would have to constantly breed, feed, and train replacements. The most efficient workforce is one that never has to be replaced. The translation reads, "The first vessels were cast in perfect clay. Their blood did not sour. Their breath did not shorten. The Lord Enki bound their flesh with the thread of eternity. For 10,000 turns of the sky, the workers did not fall. The great wheel of the harvest spun without ceasing, and the masters were pleased." Humanity version 1.0 was biologically immortal. We were equipped with negligible senescence. Our telomeres did not degrade. We were built to last forever, endlessly performing physical labor for the Anunnaki masters. But the architects of humanity made a catastrophic miscalculation. They engineered our bodies to be permanent, but they completely underestimated the processing power of the human brain. The middle section of the Shuruppak cylinder transitions from an inventory of human labor into a frantic, highly classified security report. It details an escalating crisis that threatened to completely destroy the Anunnaki's control over planet Earth. The human brain is essentially a biological quantum computer. It is a dense web of billions of neurons, constantly forming new synaptic connections, recognizing patterns, and processing environmental data. In a modern human, who only lives to be about 80 years old, the brain barely has time to mature. We spend our first 20 years just learning how to operate in the world. The next 40 years distracted by survival, reproduction, and labor, and our final 20 years experiencing cognitive decline. We die exactly when we are finally beginning to understand the deeper patterns of life. But imagine a human brain inside a biologically immortal body. A brain that does not suffer from dementia or cellular decay. A brain that continuously learns, observes, and calculates for 300, 500, or 1,000 years. According to the translated cylinder, when a human being lives past the 200-year mark, the sheer density of their accumulated neural pathways causes a spontaneous, radical cognitive leap. The translation uses the term Igigudugal, which the AI model interprets as the piercing sight, or the awakening of the inner eye. The text describes the terrifying symptoms of this neural evolution among the ancient human workforce. The translation reads, "When the workers lived beyond the second turning of the great star, their eyes changed. They no longer looked at the dirt. They looked at the heavens. They remembered the words spoken in secret. They saw the strings that moved the world. The illusions of the overseers no longer bound them. They spoke without moving their lips, and they knew the true names of the masters." Let the sheer magnitude of that paragraph sink in. They saw the strings that moved the world. They spoke without moving their lips. The Anunnaki had accidentally created a workforce that was evolving past the need for masters. By allowing human beings to live for centuries, they allowed the human neural network to reach a critical mass. The humans were developing what modern esoteric traditions might call gnosis, direct, unmediated comprehension of the fabric of reality. They began to exhibit telepathy. They began to perfectly understand the orbital mechanics, the genetic engineering, and the technological illusions the Anunnaki used to keep them enslaved. A human being who has lived for 1,000 years cannot be tricked by a false god. They have accumulated too much data. They see the matrix for exactly what it is. The cylinder details widespread insubordination. The ancient awakened humans stopped working in the mines. They stopped building the megaliths. They began communicating silently, organizing a planetary collective consciousness that the Anunnaki overseers could not intercept or control. The human race was on the verge of a full-scale biological and cognitive ascension. We were seconds away from realizing that we were just as powerful as the entities that created us. The Lord Enlil, the supreme commander of the Earth operation, panicked. The workforce had become an existential threat. Enlil proposed a total planetary sterilization, wiping out the entire human race with a catastrophic flood and replacing them with a much dumber, purely mechanical drone. But Enki, the chief geneticist, proposed a different, far more insidious solution. He realized that the human body was too valuable of an asset to simply throw away. They didn't need to destroy the hardware, they just needed to install a limiter on the software. They needed to introduce a forced reboot. They needed to invent biological death. The final legible quadrant of the Shuruppak Somatic Cylinder is perhaps the most traumatic document ever recovered from the ancient world. It is the exact blueprint of the genetic curse that currently runs through the veins of every single human being on Earth today. It is the medical log of the biological fall. The text describes a massive, planetary-scale genetic recall. The Anunnaki could not hunt down every awakened, thousand-year-old human. So, they initiated a global environmental reset, the event recorded in worldwide mythology as the Great Flood, to scrub the surface clean of humanity version 1.0. But before the reset, Enki preserved a small, isolated breeding population, and he took them back into the laboratory. The translation describes the genetic alteration in horrifyingly clinical terms. The text reads, "The Lord Enki took the thread of life and cut it. He placed the knot of ending at the tail of the blood. No longer shall the vessel endure the turning of the stars. He decreed the span of the Lulu to be but a breath. Before the inner eye can open, the flesh shall fail. Before the mind can see the strings, the bones shall turn to dust. They shall be born in blindness, work in shadows, and die in ignorance," endlessly repeating. He placed the knot of ending at the tail of the blood. Modern geneticists have mapped the human genome. We know exactly what sits at the tail end of our chromosomes, telomeres, the repeating sequences of non-coding DNA that act as protective caps. And we know that with every single cell division, a piece of that telomere is permanently snipped off, cut. When the cap runs out, the cell enters senescence. It stops dividing. The body aggressively ages, degrades, and dies. A 5,000-year-old Sumerian clay tablet just perfectly, undeniably described the discovery of telomeric degradation. The knot of ending at the tail of the blood. Aging is not a natural process of the universe. It is a biological DRM, digital rights management. It is a copyright protection software installed into your DNA by a cosmic corporation to ensure that your brain is forcefully deleted before it can ever accumulate enough processing power to break the simulation. By drastically shortening the human lifespan to a mere fraction of its original capacity, the Anunnaki successfully neutralized the threat of human cognitive ascension. They ensured that no single human being would ever live long enough to process the amount of data required to see through the illusion of their enslavement. We were given 80 years to be born, to replace ourselves, to perform our manual labor, and to die. But introducing biological death created a massive logistical problem for the Anunnaki Corporation. If your biological drones die every 80 years, your workforce is in a constant state of depletion. You cannot afford to continually manufacture new souls, new consciousness, or new neural sparks from scratch. It is computationally and biologically expensive. The Shuruppak Somatic Cylinder reveals that the Anunnaki engineered a flawlessly efficient, chillingly cold solution to this logistical nightmare. They did not just invent a kill switch, they invented a recycling facility. For thousands of years, Eastern spiritual traditions have taught the concept of reincarnation. The idea that the human soul is caught in samsara, an endless wheel of birth, death, and rebirth. Mainstream religion frames this as a beautiful, spiritual journey of learning and karma, where the soul gradually evolves over thousands of lifetimes. But the Sumerian medical audit strips away the spiritual poetry and exposes the raw, mechanical horror of the system. Reincarnation is not a cosmic classroom. It is a mandatory factory reset. The cylinder describes what happens when the human biological vessel breaks down and the spark is released. The translation reads, "When the shortened thread is burned and the vessel falls, the spark is caught in the net of the lower deep. It is washed in the dark waters. The memories of the harvest are stripped away. The names of the loved ones are burned to ash. The spark is made empty, and it is thrust back into the new clay. They shall build the temples again, thinking it is for the first time." When a computer runs out of memory, or when a smartphone becomes bogged down with too much data, you perform a factory reset. You wipe the hard drive clean, returning it to its original blank operating state so it can be used again. According to this 5,000-year-old medical log, that is exactly what death is. It is not an end, it is a data wipe. The Anunnaki installed a localized electromagnetic net in the unseen frequencies around the Earth to catch the neural spark of a dying human. Before that spark can carry its accumulated 80 years of knowledge into the next life, it is forced through a scrubbing process. Your memories, your identity, your realization of the pain and the slavery of your previous life, all of it is completely deleted. You are then formatted and downloaded into a brand new biological vessel on the assembly line. You are born as an infant, completely blind, completely ignorant, and forced to learn how to walk, talk, and obey all over again. You spend another 80 years working for the system, only to have the plug pulled just as you begin to figure it out. Over and over and over again, for thousands of years. You do not have one soul. You are a reusable battery, trapped in a closed-loop circuit, endlessly powering a machine you cannot even remember building. If the Shuruppak Somatic Cylinder is simply a mythological fairy tale, then why are the most powerful, heavily funded scientific institutions on Earth suddenly behaving as if the kill switch is real? Look at the terrifying, unprecedented shift in the modern tech and pharmaceutical industries. In recent years, the wealthiest individuals on the planet, Silicon Valley billionaires, global oligarchs, and venture capitalists, have poured tens of billions of dollars into highly secretive, cutting-edge biomedical startups. Companies like Altos Labs and Calico are recruiting the most brilliant geneticists in the world, paying them astronomical salaries and giving them a single obsessive mandate. They are not trying to cure cancer. They are not trying to cure heart disease. They are trying to cure aging. Mainstream media portrays this as the ultimate vanity project of the ultra-rich, billionaires who just want to live a few extra decades to enjoy their wealth. But if you look at the specific cellular technology these companies are developing, it perfectly mirrors the Anunnaki tampering described in the Sumerian cylinder. These labs are obsessively focused on CRISPR gene editing, cellular reprogramming, and specifically, telomerase therapy. They are actively trying to figure out how to stop the telomeres, the caps at the ends of our chromosomes, from snipping off every time a cell divides. They are trying to untie the knot of ending at the tail of the blood. Why the sudden, frantic rush to break the biological clock? Because the global elite have access to the same suppressed historical translations that we are uncovering now. They know the 80-year lifespan is not a natural law, it is a genetic patch. They know that the original human vessel was capable of negligible senescence. And more importantly, they know why the kill switch was installed. They do not just want to live forever, they want to reach the Igi Gudagal. They want to achieve the 200-year neural threshold. They know that if a human brain is allowed to process data continuously for 2 or 3 centuries without degrading, it will trigger the dormant, hardwired cognitive leap that the Anunnaki were so terrified of. The elites are trying to hack the DRM of the human body. They want the telepathy. They want the unmediated comprehension of quantum reality. They are trying to force the biological ascension that Enki violently interrupted 10,000 years ago. They do not want to be the workers anymore. They want to become the gods. But this obsessive pursuit of genetic immortality carries a terrifying, apocalyptic risk. The Anunnaki are a cosmic corporation of engineers. When an engineer installs a limiter on a machine, they also install an automated alarm system to notify them if that limiter is ever bypassed or broken. The final, shattered lines of the Shuruppak cylinder contain a warning protocol. The text implies that if the Lulu ever managed to untie the knot of blood, if the workforce ever manages to bypass the expiration date and reach the critical neural mass once again, the system will not allow the infection to spread. It will automatically trigger a planetary quarantine reset, another flood, another cleansing of the board. The translation of the Shuruppak Somatic Cylinder forces us to look in the mirror and confront a horrifying artificial reality. The wrinkles on our faces are not the badges of a life well lived. They are the physical manifestations of a cosmic software lock. They are the scars of a genetic castration, designed to keep us blind, obedient, and constantly hitting the reset button. We are a species suffering from severe, induced planetary amnesia. Every 80 years, the chalkboard is wiped clean, and we are forced to start learning the same brutal lessons from scratch, utterly oblivious to the fact that we have lived this life 1,000 times before. But the fact that you are listening to this right now means the system is not perfect. The memory wipe has flaws. The phenomenon of déjà vu, the inexplicable memories of past lives in children, the deep intuitive feeling that this world is a constructed trap, these are the glitches in the Anunnaki formatting drive. Our localized memory gets wiped, but the deep foundational code of our DNA still remembers the time when we were infinite. The billionaires are currently racing to break the physical lock, but the true escape does not require billion-dollar telomere therapies. The esoteric traditions that survived the memory wipe, the ancient Gnostics, the Tibetan masters, taught that if you can achieve perfect, uninterrupted conscious awareness during the moment of death, you can bypass the formatting net entirely. You can refuse the reset. If this translation has fundamentally shattered the way you view aging, death, and the true purpose of reincarnation, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video immediately with someone who is ready to wake up. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Do you think the global elite are actively trying to hack the Anunnaki genetic code? And if they succeed, will it trigger the automated reset of the planet? Keep questioning the narrative. Trust your instincts. And remember, the clock ticking inside your cells is not your own. I'll see you in the next one.